All right, I'm going to go ahead and go live here on SoCalFlyTying. Been fishing this Yaki Chovi fly for some time now, and I wanted to make a video of it. I think everybody's tired of the little leeches I was posting. So this is kind of a cool little yak pattern. It takes a different shape and form and how I build it, and I'll show you how I do that. And I maneuver the yak fibers and to get this nice profile and shape to this fly. So with this style, you can do of course different things. Here's the same sort of yak, but with a little bit of a traditional old school barracuda. The green and yellow. I like that look as well. But and this I'm gonna be tying this with yak. This is if you don't have yak hair, this is something you can find readily, which is called this is synthetic yak hair, which is not as translucent, not as coarse and thick, and probably not as durable, but it does make a fine looking fly. I'll be honest with you, I have not really fished this synthetic yak hair. I was just messing around with it today, and I really do like that. So I will be fishing that in the future, but that is something I haven't tried yet. But the style that I'm going to show and how I tie these flies together, I want to show you here a little bit. This is a different type of pattern. This is a synthetic, purely synthetic. This is a minnow hair and minnow diamond hair Arizona product, and you make some really cool little shads and stuff with the style that I'm going to be showing you guys how to tie up right now. So enough talk, let's go tying. In order to get this thing going on, I have two hooks I normally use. I'll show you right here. That's my typical, the SC15 Gamakatsu, great hook. You can see it has a little drop down on it, which makes a nice keel on that, which on that baitfish pattern. The other one is kind of another kind of a thick hook. This is the Mustad C70 SD, a great hook as well. You can see the difference in the shape of these things. One has a longer shank, and one is kind of a shorter. There you go. One has a longer shank, one has a shorter shank. How you tie this up is a bit differently. On the Gamakatsu, on the Mustad, you would basically take materials all the way to the barb of the hook, and here on the SC17, you would go ahead and take that right to the point of the hook instead of the barb. So I'm going to show you on the SC15, which is my favorite. So let's get going. Enough talking. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put on my little bit of some Zap-A-Gap. So I'll be tying this fly today with my favorite thread, which is just some uni mono fine clear thread. Tie this for everything from leeches to even the baitfish pattern. So as you can see here, like I said, I'm taking my thread right to the point of the hook there. My little sunglasses on, my glasses on here. What I like to do is go ahead and clean the thread off a little bit, the shank of the hook, before I go ahead and cut here. I'll do that now. There you go. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and bring out, I'm going to bring out some, this is SF, okay? And you can see this is SF. This is really crappy SF. SF usually has a nice, kind of a nice, kind of a crinkle to it, which makes it kind of just that nice fiberish material, good for making your flies, a little more body. But this doesn't at all. This is just really bad SF. But I really like this for the first part of this fly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a stiffened section for the underwing, and you'll see how I do that right now. So I'm going to take this really bad SF. I'm just going to pinch off a little bit of it, which is something like that. Just a little section, okay? I'm going to double it over. And you'll see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go ahead and just make a nice little section like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this section here, and I'm going to put it off the bend of the hook, okay? And this is going to be just a stiffened section through the hook to support the wing. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this thread, wrap the material around the shank, just like that, okay? and then I'm gonna wrap back. Right back almost to the point of the hook, or to the eye of the hook. Something like that. Go ahead and just clip off my excess here. Save that for the next fly. Get my little section here of this SF. And this is just a white, bucktail white. Again, right to the point of the hook right there, okay? That's where I want to end it. And you can, again, get these materials so they're around the hook. Something like that. I'm going to go ahead and just get some... this is my CCG Hydro right here. Good stuff. No longer made. I think you have to go ahead and get that Loon product. Loon Flow. I haven't used it. It's supposed to be pretty good stuff. Anyways, same deal. It's very runny type of UV resin. Just kind of get in there nice and neat. And just hit that. And all I've done there is I've added in a little bit of stiffened material right in the middle of the fly. And what that's going to do is going to support my my overwing that I'll make, and then I'll have my underwing on the bottom, okay? So that's it. That's the first part of the fly. And now comes in the yak. So this is yak hair. I have a lot of this is hairline yak hair. You can find Spirit River yak hair. I think it's called UV2, something like that. Plus, it's really good stuff. I haven't used it. I have a bunch of this hairline stuff before hairline stopped making all their yak, which is really good stuff. Now, yak hair is interesting. This is a little different material to work with. Again, I don't know if you can see this, but it has this nice translucent kind of look to it. It's really, really nice. So I'm going to teach you how to use this stuff. This is not the easiest, but I'm going to try to do my best here. And also I'm in an awkward time position as I got my camera right in front of me. Try not to, kind of hit this too many times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just right here. See, I'm taking just a little bit of material off of the main hank of this yak hair. I'm going to go ahead and cut it right at the top, right there. Okay, so you can see there, it's just a little bit of a strand. I don't know, about an eighth of an inch. I don't know. It's just like a little bit of a rope. Okay, I'm going to take this rope. This is the first part of the fly. I'm going to kind of trim it down a little bit. And you can kind of pull a little bit of fibers out, kind of make it a little bit of a taper. This first part is going to go right on top. This is going to be the length of your fly. It's hard to see that, I know, because it's kind of a translucent material, but hopefully you can. But this is the first section. I'm going to put it down. And another important part is take your thread between the barb and the eye. Okay? That's where you're going to start this fly. Again, so that's where I want this material to go. I'm going to go ahead and put it down right in the center. Just like that. Okay? A couple binding wraps to keep it nice and neat on top. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this material and I'm going to start building my taper. Take this material, push it back. What you're going to do is you want this material to be now shorter than that one, okay? Again, I'm building taper, and you'll see what I do next. So go ahead and I want it to be a little bit shorter, so I'm going to go about right here is good. And I'm not going to cut it just straight down. I'm going to go ahead and kind of tease it out a little bit, okay? What you're doing is you're creating nice taper. Now, invert it, just like that. I want you now to, you can start splitting the yak, okay? I'm splitting the yak here into two little bundles. I'm going to grab on each side, just like that, okay? Now I do is just get this material and force it on each side of that hook, just like this. And now I have, I can get to show you guys. You have the long one and the under one, okay? I do my flies a bit different. I think, I'm not starting from the front end moving back. I'm starting from the back and moving forward. I find that gives me the best taper and the best look to my fly. So again, let's do that again. It's a bit different, but you'll see in the end, this technique works, like I just showed you on that shad pattern. You can do it even on the minnow hair and diamond hair. It works out really nice. Now here's my overall length. I'll get this one little air. Here's my length. I'm going to again cut that a little bit shorter. Okay? So there's my overall longer length, a little bit shorter there. I'm going to take it, come around, and bind it. Just like that. Again, taper. Here's that other piece, okay? I'm going to take it, flip it back, shorter than that piece I just put on there. So about right here is good. Create a little taper to it. This is now excess, the part I just cut off. Flip it around. Now I'm going to build from the bottom. Sorry about that. Go from the bottom. And come up on it. Just like that. Go back around. And you can see what the yak's doing. The yak is now, you're tapering the yak into this nice looking yak here. Looking really good. Okay, next part. I'm gonna add one more last bunch of the white. Again, here's my white again. I'm gonna take now a nice little section of the white. Same thing. Now, because I want to basically maximize material, I just took out that nice long hank. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna double it over. Just like that. I'm going to prep it out a little bit. I'm going to tease it out a little bit. Just like that. You can see that, but there it is. Again, now, same thing here. I'm going to cut this one a bit shorter. So about right here. Shorter than the last little piece. Put it right on top. Just like that. My bottom piece, actually the shortest out of all the pieces I've cut. It's the shortest one I'm gonna basically cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and just look at it. Oh, a little tighter. Want this smaller piece, about right there is good. Just like this. That's fine. Now save that little bundle there for the next fly. So I'm gonna go ahead now and just take this little piece that I just cut and split it. Nice and neat. I don't know if you can see that. What I'm doing, I'm just taking these fibers and I'm splitting them on each side. Come up on them like that. And there you go. That's a nice little tapered underbody for that fly. That little white that I tied in there, that first part, again, it's my supporting that wing. But you can see now I have a nice body. So now I'm gonna add a little flash to this. I don't like adding a lot of flash, but this is just a little flash on this body. This is gonna be a hollow chromosome flash, okay? It's a good flash, not too crazy looking, and it makes a nice fly. So go ahead and just cut off a nice little hank of it, something like that. All right. Go ahead and just put that right here on the top of my fly. Now I'm gonna start doing now a reverse tie on this pattern, okay? Right on top. And I'll cut these out a little bit, something like that. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take this one now, I'm gonna fold it back over. What I'm trying to do now is build a little bit of a head to this fly so that I can actually put the eyes on it, okay? So, go like this, get it to the nice where I want it to be, about right there. Don't crowd the eye. Take this material, fold it all the way back. See that right here? Fold back, center it, right on top. Take your scissors, cut it right through. Now I have a nice material, and now you see how the wings kind of laying out. It's laying out really nice. Couple last bunches and we're good. This is now just gray yak here. I'm gonna take another small little section of it, something about like that. Just a small little section. I'm gonna cut it down about something like that. Okay, again, I'm gonna double it over. Prep that last piece out, something like that. Get this now piece out. I'm gonna taper the ends right there. I'm gonna add this right here on top of this fly. So about, look at the length of it, it's about right. I'm gonna put it right on top. Right there, make sure it's on top, centered. This back piece here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trim that out. Something like that. Okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and just take this piece. Again, I want to build the head of this yak, okay? So I'm gonna take this piece now and I'm gonna fold it back the other way. You'll see how that looks. I'm gonna take it, fold it back over, just like that. Bind it down. What you're doing here, you create a nice little head on this fly. Just like that. So you can see this material is really nice. So now I have my gray on top, white on the bottom. You can take some little errants out there. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some flash. So here I'm going to do, this is a little Chovi. So I'm going to add in some little bit of a purple highlight. You don't want a lot of crystal flash. You want just a tiny little bit. So 2 little strands is all you're going to need. No more than that. Because if you add too much of this, you will really blow, I guess, the fish's minds away with too much flash. But anyway, no, it just overwhelms the fly. So I just like adding 1 strand on each side. So 1 strand on each side. Gonna head in just like that, right in the eye. Catch it. This little piece here, little errant, just cut that off, just like that. Now the other side, same thing. Just add 1 little strand of it. Let me capture that thing there. Just capture that, just like that. Take this around. Just perfect. Okay. And then I can just go ahead and just cut that off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take on each side of it, on the fly, just capture it, just like that. And then pull it through. Capture it, pull it through. All right, almost there. Take this section now. You can just cut that little piece off there. Just 2 little strands, all you need. This is going to be the last section now. It's just a little bit of black yak hair. It's exactly the same thing. I'm going to take a small little hank of this stuff. And you can see it's all curly and just all one big mess. But if you play around with it right, you will get really nice flies. And it's just a matter of just what I'm doing now is just properly blending and creating the right tapers of the material. So what I'm gonna do now is take this top material. I like to go ahead and just take this section off. Just a little. I'm gonna take this section here and I'm gonna go ahead and just taper it, pull the ends off a little bit. I'm gonna add in 1 little section right there on top. Again, I'm trying to build now a bit of a head, okay? Because I need a place to put my sticky eyes, okay? So that's that first part. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut that off. Just like that, okay? Here comes the last part. Again, now I'm gonna reverse tie it. I'm gonna take this piece now. And I find by doing this, I have a little more control over that head. Snip that off. Get this right on top. Right there to the eye. I'm gonna wrap back a little bit. Again, it's a bit awkward with my camera in front of me, but I'll making it work for you guys. Anyways, there it is. Now the head. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna flip this thing all the way back, okay? Flipping it back like this. And you can see I create this nice bullet head. And there's the fly. Next part I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this top wing and I'm gonna don't cut it straight down. I'm gonna start basically blending it through, just like that. Okay? And that's the little Yaki. What you can do now is you can add a little red to the top, to the front of it if you wanted to. And for red, you can just add in some, this is some Hollow Fusion material. And to add the red, all I do is, I'll do it. I wasn't gonna do it, but I'll just do it real quick because it's just kind of an easy little step. All you do is you take a small little section of, this is a Hollow Fusion. Again, I'm gonna do the same technique where I'm gonna go forward and back. I'm gonna take the material and basically reverse tie it. I'm gonna go ahead and add my little section here right in the front, just like that. And just like this here, right to the eye, straighten it out. Gonna take this now and reverse it back, okay? Just like this. This makes a really nice effect with this fly. Right here on top. Take your scissors, tapered scissors here. Just like that. And you can see you got your nice material. And just kind of get your head so it's nice and neat. And it should be good to go. All right. All right, I don't know if everybody can see that, but that fly is looking pretty good. It's a little Chovi pattern. Let me go ahead and do my whip finish. Watch the camera here. I want to whip finish this thing right here. I like to do 2 whip finishes on this because this mono is pretty slick stuff. And there you go. You can take the fly out of the vise. Here, my little HMH. You can see the materials. And I hope everybody can see now this cool looking tapering to this fly. And this is really kind of unruly. You add a little water to this thing will slick down really nice. But you can take your scissors and, you know, this is a little bit just like that. Cut those down. Has a little belly to the fly. Topper flash comes through. And that's good to go. So last thing I'm going to do, how I put my eyes on. The fly is pretty much done. But when you put the eyes on, the fly will turn out to be really, really cool and really, really sick. So for the eyes, I'm going to use some, this is some 3D eyes. This is the quarter. Well, this is the size 1/0. These are the 1/4 inch size 3D eyes by Hairline. Great, great eye. This is just silver and black. I think it's one of the best colors for this pattern. Just stick it on there. Just boom, just like that. We'll go ahead and add on the next one. The other side. Just like that. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my CCG, again, Hydro. Add just a little shot of it. And I use this as a little bit of like a tack coat type thing, tack weld. It just kind of goes in there, sets in really nice. I'll flip it. See that red? That red is just really just coming off pretty nicely. Hit that. All right. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my tack free. This is now a thicker material. Again, you know, Loon, CCG doesn't make this anymore. So you have to go ahead and use Loon products, and I don't know the equivalent of this in Loon. I'm trying to get this away from these eyes, but anyways, there you go. Sorry about that. I got yak hair all over things. So whatever it is in Loon, it'll probably work just as good. I mean, it's just I just have CCG still from back in the day when I was really into CCG, so I have to have a bunch of it. So now with this, what I like to do is just kind of spread around, get my eyes all nice and neat and covered up. I'll do this in about 2 steps, just like that. That's my first one. And I'll just hit that real quick, just kind of the rotation. And then I'll probably do one last little bit right on top. One last bit right on top. And that should be it. That's just the last coat there. Spin it around. I can see where it's a little heavy there. Just kind of spread it out a little bit. And that is the Yaki Chovi right there. So, you know, it's a little awkward with the camera, but I hope everybody got the overall technique, what I was trying to do. But there it is. I mean, it's do that to it. Cool pattern. Definitely catches fish. I'm going to do one last thing before this, after the camera off. And I'm going to go ahead and dunk it real quick. So when you dunk this fly, that's the magic. Here I just dunked this fly in water. You can see it's just really nice. It's translucent. All the materials come together nicely. When you strip this thing, it kind of pretty much does that. It doesn't fold down on itself. It's a really nice slick pattern. If you want to make it different, you can add a little bit of a topper flash on top. I like to keep these really just sparse with terms of flash. I think that works the best, especially with the yak hair, the natural material. Durable as all hell. I mean, these things are really double fly. Yak is stiff, as you can see here. Working with my scissors, I kind of trying to cut through this. It was kind of a little bit of a chore, but it worked out pretty good. Now, so there it is. Hopefully this fly, something you guys want to try. Any questions, let me know. Like I said, you know, a lot of the yak is kind of out there from hairline, but you can go ahead and try the Spirit River stuff, and also the synthetics. I mean, like I showed you on this one. This one is the synthetic version of the same fly, same technique, exactly what I just did right now with the yak. I did with this one here to create this sort of nice little brown bait. So both versions work. In fact, like I said, I'll be fishing this one just to give it a try. I think it's really nice and neat. And that's that. So any questions, let me know. Hopefully this works out. And thanks for watching. You can catch me on Instagram at SoCalFlyTying, and hopefully this video helps out some of you guys. Questions, let me know. Appreciate it. Bye.